Namaste Galactic family, and welcome back to my channel Indigo Angel. If you are new, come on into this summer solstice alignment and smash that subscribe button. And if you are returning, don't forget to hit that notifications bell so you can continue to receive my messages. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this video so others can benefit from this update. I hope everyone is well on this beautiful day. It is June 19th, Juneteenth, 2021, and I am reporting from the Serpent Mounds in Ohio in Bush Creek. And essentially, I do want to try to quickly get this video uploaded to you guys so all of the energies are current with the summer solstice alignment. But essentially, out here in Bush Creek, there is literally no internet service, so there's no possible way I could do a live, and it's also might be very difficult for me to upload this later, so hopefully I don't get this uploaded too far out, but I'm gonna do my best to get this to you as soon as I can. But if you guys don't already know, this is a very sacred site here in the United States. The Serpent Mounds is considered the largest effigy mound in the world, and I'm actually sitting right here in the park itself. To the right of me, you can actually see to the right that kind of that mound there by the tree. Essentially, that's the tail of the serpent. And to the left of me, you can see that tower there. And so people can climb that tower to go up and actually view the entire body of the serpent and down to the head of the serpent. And when I walked down there, I'm actually filming an activation here to ignite humanity's excitement and desire to further dive in and understand meteorite impacts and our celestial genesis, our celestial beginnings through meteorite impacts. So I'm creating an artwork of an activation to bring that forward. So I did actually film my intro up on that tower up there, essentially, and hopefully I got that done at a good timing, because tomorrow will be the 20th. It's going to be very busy. There's going to be a lot of people here. It's amazing energy here. It's super high vibrational. There are lots of people walking the path and just saging it over and over and over again. So when you walk the path around the serpent, you just smell sage on the whole trail. You can tell there's a lot of really devout spiritual people here. They have indigenous circles and drumming and flute, native flute here. So, and that's going on for 3 days, all of today and all of tomorrow. And so it's definitely a place where people come together to celebrate and to honor this effigy mound here. It's pretty incredible. Essentially, this was left here by the original builders of Tara, the fourth dimensional beings of the organic grid template. They say it was left here by the Adena people. But the meteorite itself impacted here over 300 million years ago. But essentially, the earth builders created the earthworks, is what they call it here, the earthworks. And they left it here as a gift of remembering our celestial inheritance, our genesis, our creation, and our very impactful beginnings. And they designed it so perfectly, guys, that the sun aligns directly with the head of the snake on the sunset of the summer solstice. So I'm hoping my Herkimer diamonds just ignite that activation. I was very kind of discreet when I tossed them in. I didn't actually walk on the effigy mound itself because it's prohibited by the park, and so I was trying to be as respectful as possible. But I did I have a really deep connection with Herkimer diamonds, and I just felt that I had to leave a little piece of me here. So because this alignment is said to represent the divine marriage of heaven and earth, and I'm so called here because serpents are at the root of all creation stories worldwide, beginning from the timelines and the Akashic fields of the Lemurian history on Earth. And even beyond this, the Sumerian creation story of Tiamat, the primordial goddess of the sea that is later killed to create heaven and earth itself. The serpents are at the root of these creation stories, essentially, and so much more I could say to expand this within you and beyond. I just don't have time to go through all of these serpent creation stories, the rainbow serpent, all of these things, the Quetzalcoatl. Essentially, I don't have the time, but I've written about these things a lot on my website. I have an article called The Rebirth of Hydra into the Collective Consciousness, and I really go through a lot of this, so please go read the writings or dive into the studies yourself to get the gnosis. But all of this really comes back to hydrology, hydrolysis, hydrogenesis, and Hydra herself, the celestial water serpent, the star seed home origin to many, many, many beings here on this earth. Water planets being the incipient amniotic spring of all terrestrial life. This is where it all began, guys. Hydra, the celestial water mother serpent, may have been the true progenitor seed race to all of humanity, to the Pleiadians, which I have been saying against the controversial pushback. They may have been the true progenitor seed race to the Cygnusians. The Cygnusians essentially birthed the indigo Denisovans, the indigo Neanderthal, which is at about 1 to 2% genetic identification within your DNA still to this day. They can trace back Neanderthal. So it's very interesting how it truly just reveals itself, how deep this serpent energy and genetic composition, race lineage, within the race morphogenetic field of the planet keeps revealing itself. And like I said, even many would disagree about these statements itself, that Hydra is the progenitor race, but they still can't deny the evidence that was left here by the original Earth builders. And this effigy mound here at the Serpent Mounds exemplifies this. So it's incredible, and I'm really enjoying my time here. It's so peaceful. It's really so peaceful and shamanic. But essentially, this effigy mound exemplifies this, but the serpent temples and statues at Machu Picchu at the Pleiadian Stargate sites also exemplifies this. The serpent cults and temples and pillars at every part of the earth that pieces back the land masses of Mu, they exemplify this. They hold that serpent essence at every which way you really look at it when you start actually diving into the historical archaeology of these sacred sites and Stargate locations. So you can't deny the serpent at these pivotal geometric locations and these pivotal identification points in history. And I have a lot of flies on me here, and I had a caterpillar crawling on me already. A lot of life here. It's so beautiful in Ohio. I mean, it's just so green. When I pulled in last night, because we're camping here at Pike Lake State Park, which is a really beautiful place to camp, it was just pouring rain. I mean, it was thundering and lightning and just pouring rain, and I thought, wow, this is just magical. It's just beautiful. But essentially, all of this has everything to do with creation mythology and creation-based technology. Hydra is at the root of this because meteorites are at the root of this. And meteors are what brought water to this planet, essentially. They brought the Hydra, okay? Multiple geochemical studies have concluded that asteroids are most likely the primary source of Earth's water. Carbonaceous chondrites which are a subclass of the oldest meteorites in the entire solar system. They essentially have isotopic levels most similar to ocean water. So it's all connected to water, essentially. And if you have watched my channel for a while, you know that I am a big advocate, I am an ambassador, and I consider myself to be a high council member of the celestial race lineage, Hydra, that is told time and time again, culture after culture, civilization after civilization, that the serpent race, the serpent lineage, the soul serpent genetic protein that is found in the Hydra system, essentially this comes from the original celestial systems of Ashleisha, of Hydrobius, and Alphard in the Hydra system, which again, like I said from the beginning, goes all the way back to the Hydra Centaurus supercolossal cluster in the heart of Laniakea that has been transmitted from the Hawaiian Stargate sites, essentially. So you can see why I was called to come here and activate this site at the alignment. Hydra essentially brought me here, guys. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to assist humanity in the task of essentially interpreting the importance of meteorite collisions. That's ultimately why the Serpent Mounds are so special. They are highly cosmic and extraterrestrial because this mound is located on an ancient meteorite impact structure, 9 miles wide, for the 9 heads of Hydra, for the 9 muses of Pegasi. And meteorite impact sites carry the highest level of extraterrestrial matter within the landmass itself. Sorry, I have a little bit of a dry throat here. It's just from the walking that I've been doing, because it's a long journey to walk around the Serpent Mounds, so I get a little thirsty. But essentially, like I said, meteorite impact sites do carry the highest level of extraterrestrial matter within the landmass itself, and that is due to the ablation spheres of the rare and precious metals such as atomic number 77, iridium, which I have been talking about on my channel for a while now. Through those ablation spheres, they also bring forth crystals from other planets and remnants from other planets and celestial bodies. And so that's all here at the Serpent Mounds to embrace that energy, to activate to that energy, and to integrate the meteoric consciousness, essentially. These impacts, they bring over 100 different types of amino acids. Many are unidentifiable and unknown, and they bring forth nuclei, basis building blocks of genetic molecules, and RNA, proteins, and even sugars. So these meteorite impacts and these ablation spheres and the meteorite rocks and tektite and crystals and iridium and metals that they bring, these impacts, they are basically the spaceship in which you landed here, which makes them portals and makes them landing vessels from the gods, essentially. And any sacred site that's near a meteorite site will be beyond special because of this, because of the power that they hold. They hold this power through the mass extinctions. Sorry, I have a lot of creepy crawlies crawling on me at the moment. And it's also kind of hot. It's definitely humid here. It's a little bit muggy. But essentially, the meteorites, they hold this power through the mass extinctions, through the mass awakenings, and through the mass diversal extraterrestrial seedings that they bring forth to the earth. They essentially represent the beginning and the end, and their impeccable implosion is unpredictable. And many say they don't know why they built the Serpent Mounds here. They don't know why exactly or what exactly it means. As you talk to, some of the people here, the natives and the indigenous, and even some of the park people, they say they don't know for sure exactly why the Serpent Mounds were built here. But after being here and after tuning into the energy, I see that it really couldn't be more obvious. It's here to show you exactly how you got here. This alignment, this Serpent Mound, this meteorite, this impact site is the representation of your creation, your landing, your seeding, your genetic makeup, your Genesis design, and your progenitor race that defined you from the beginning. I am Hydra biased. I'm sorry. It's in my innate celestial cosmic blueprint to be so. I am a Hydra moon. And so a lot of this comes through a lot of lunar sea star wisdom. And since craters impacted from all over the world, maybe this would actually define why different human races and different human faces populated the earth simultaneously. Because their genetic makeup maybe wasn't a descendancy from other races at all, or a Darwin theory of evolution within that. It was truly a new extraterrestrial seeding that has nothing to even do with one another. It has to do with their amino acid composition from meteoric birth, essentially. So within the United States alone, there are 28 different discovered meteorite impacts. I know within Estonia, there are the 9 Kali craters. Within Saudi Arabia, there's the Wabar crater. They're all over the world. The Amakaris crater in Australia, they're everywhere, essentially. And if these meteorite impacts are bringing 100 different amino acids in their impact, how would that not define the composition of human pockets of differentiality, essentially, all simultaneously? They say over the last 70,000 years, all of these different human genetic makeups, compositions, and races presented simultaneously. And how could that be so? And they even say that the conventional timeline of human migration out of Africa is no longer valid, that the ancestors originated from pockets at the same time all over the globe. Okay, so that's my theory, and that's what I pick up on as I tune more into the wisdom of the meteorite itself. And so, yeah, guys, if you caught my last Lyran update, you'll know I have been speaking a lot about the meteorite site activations globally around the world, transmitting through sacred sites that carry the meteorite rock composition, such as the Kaaba, the cube with the corner of the black stone at the cube, supposedly a meteorite rock. Also Angkor Wats through the lingams under the temples, and also the Serpent Mounds, which carries a high count of ablation spheres of iridium, the atomic number 77. So I have been talking about these global activations of these meteoric connections, and the ablation spheres, which is a really important aspect of this, because these are the galactic chip implants that seeded around the planet. I just want to send a special shout out to a dear friend, Miss Donna, who sent me some of the information about those galactic chip implants that are seeded around the planet. Basically explaining that these are a part of a vast global communication system when it comes to meteoric consciousness. Have you guys ever heard of the satellite constellations? This is one way that this consciousness is defined here on Earth. There are essentially 77 satellites that were launched under the iridium projects on Earth, and within the iridium flares that have been revolving around the nucleus atomic state of the Earth's race morphogenetic field, that has basically boosted the intellect in this planet, making global communication systems possible from above. So they say, you know, what's below is above, and so we have these meteorite ablation spheres, these global communication systems, these iridium flares, these network systems underground communicating, and basically enhancing and advancing the intellect of humanity and global communication of humanity, but affecting all aspects and influential spectrums of humanity overall. Our imagination, our history, our culture, religion, spirituality, and politics, everything is basically impacted by this. And even more so, the expansion of genetic diversity of the human species. So it's very, very powerful. And this is really what I'm hoping to ignite and activate with the activation that I'm creating here tomorrow on the 20th. And so I'm really excited to bring all of this forth for you guys. And just thank you so much for continuing to love and support my channel. I am going to sign out for today, but I will be back with another update, and I'll also be putting out some Patreon content, probably doing some visualizations and some meditations here for you guys. So please stay tuned, Patrons. I love you guys so much. Also, if you would like to check into services with me, you can find everything on my website, indigoangel222.com. Please be sure to sign up for my monthly newsletter, as I will be writing more about everything that I see, feel, and experience here at the Serpent Mounds for the summer solstice. And I love you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful everything, and namaste. Take care. I'll be back soon.